So, gamers, sorry. He just got sorry by some ordinary gamers, aka Mutaha. Now, this is a gentleman who used to watch a while back. Yeah, I used to watch him like a while back, like some of his like dark web stuff, but I kind of just fell off and he became like, I think someone who said it's moist critical without the charisma. And I'm just like, yeah, a little bit, a little bit. I don't even watch a lot of moist critical these days, but when I do want like some daily news slop, I'll watch him. So I've got my guy covered. Yeah, so it's just, you know what I mean? It's just all of this. So I'm guessing he made a video. I'm assuming he made a video where he shit on the Switch 2 and he ended up buying it. So he wanted to apologize, I guess. Without further ado, Mr. Ha, let's take it away.
It's me, Mutahar, and let's just talk about it, ladies and gentlemen. I made a mistake. I ended up buying that Nintendo Switch 2, even though I said that I was going to hold off. I wasn't just going to go buy it outright.
Thank you so much, Saul.
Mutahar is more serious when compared to Pengiant's Zero.
Yeah, but I like Penguin Zero because he like makes jokes about like titties and asses, and it's kind of funny, you know. Boring.
There I was, going on a midnight release, and I ended up picking it, you know.
went to a midnight release? What the? Brother, that's insane! What the fuck? Like, if you would have said, okay, like I passed by a store, there happened to be one in stock, and I'm just like, my impulse got ahead of me, right? Fair! Because that's how I got the PS5, by the way. Like, I saw one, like, literally there, and I'm just like, fuck it. Alright, let me buy it. You know what I mean? I had no plans to buy it. You went to a midnight release?
Just on a walk-in. Now, of course, ladies and gentlemen, there's no way to sugarcoat or cut around this. I did, in fact, commit a hypocrisy. I made a mistake. I should have not bought this product. Now, I made a few videos on the Switch 2. Well, not a few, several. Brother. I've basically covered it. I've not been the most positive viewer of it, especially around certain things like...
That's insane. Guys, they couldn't help it. Guys, the Switch 2 was looking at me funny, okay? Well, listen, you don't have to... You don't ask, why did I buy the Switch 2? You have to ask, what was the Switch 2 wearing? Honey, what was the Switch 2 wearing? What was it wearing? Was it giving him the fuck me eyes? What do you think, honey?
No.
No, the Switch 2 was asking for it, honey. I was asking.
Those game key cards, and especially about their TOS, when apparently it seems like they can just brick your systems, and more specifically around.
That was just so overblown. But whatever. Of course, the Daily News slop guy made a video. Actual Green Goblin behavior. Yes, come to me, Mutaha. Yes. Buy me, Mutaha. No, everyone will think I'm a hypocrite. Yes, Mutaha, you're a hypocrite, Mutaha. Go on, honey.
I think that's like the worst reason to like not buy a Switch. People got mad that a company wants to brick their system like every other gaming company does.
Well, yeah, it was one of those things where like headline-wise it looked bad, but when you look into it, it's literally just like every system does this. Like if you mod your PS5, you mod your Xbox and go online with it, yeah, your system will get banned from playing online or potentially bricked. Like, it's always been a thing. It's just Nintendo made it very clear in their terms of service now. Yeah, we're going to do this now, so you better, You know what I mean? Like, every company does this already. So,
and then, like,
it was kind of overblown.
People, like, going in, that's always, like, their first criticisms. Like, they're making it not user-friendly by not, like, completely going against, like, the game system and kind of making it illegal. And, like,
yeah, no,
it
was stupid. It was stupid. Like,
and then, like, all the comments were generally, like, every gaming system has done this for like
it was such a nothing burger. So, like, if anything, it just makes me respect Muha even less. Even if I wanted him to be my Daily News slop guy, if he's gonna fall for shit like that, I'm just like, well, what's the point of you, bro? Like, fucking hell.
Like,
the fact that
maybe this is complain about. I think I hate when something becomes so unpopular. Like on
it becomes like cool to hate, you know what I mean?
Every little thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, hate on it when it needs to be hated.
Yeah.
There's some things I don't like about.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
it's just so easy to make money though, man. Like the money just like the money changes people. It's so bad. Like I can imagine, even if I'm doing this for a job, I just cannot see myself like willfully like joining a hate train just for money, because then I lose my credibility and people won't believe me in the future. It's like I guarantee there's some fans. I hope it's worth the money. I mean, he's got a Ralph Lauren shirt. He doesn't give a shit about the money anymore. But like you've lost like there's guaranteed there's some fans that have I've lost credibility for you. I don't even like. Granted, I'm not really a fan of yours anymore. So what's my credibility worth to you anyway? But like I don't have any sort of inkling to like go back to you being my daily news slop guy. Like I have no interest now. You know what I mean?
Negativity sells, but
You gotta be reasonable with it. You know what I mean? You gotta be reasonable. And Hot Wheels Gamer says, I kind of believe him that he ever thought he wasn't gonna buy one. Like, how do you go to? Yeah, exactly. Like it goes into question everything. He's like, yeah, that's the worst. But now, in future reference, why would any of his fans believe him? Do you know what I mean? Like, your word is your bond, and if you're not going with your word, then what the fuck's the point of you? You know what I mean? I feel like this is the Xbox 360. Yeah, literally, yeah. It's been like that for ages. Nintendo just were making it very clear, which you could argue, like, if anything, the worst thing you could say to Nintendo was they just had shit PR for the Switch too. They were terrible. They were actually so bad, but I guess it didn't affect them too bad.
I was saying, yeah,
they fucking sold out.
Sold
yeah,
out. Like, constantly.
System
like...
is in fact a brick when you ended up picking it up. Now, as you all know, yesterday I made a pretty big mistake. I actually made a video with the Switch 2 inside the actual frame. I actually had one on screen. I bought one. I used it to play Cyberpunk 2077 on it. Now,
wait, so he's not making this video willingly? So he made it because he got caught. Is that what it is? Hang on. That's even worse then.
hello.
Hang on. So please don't pre-order the. Oh no, he made it. Okay, so he made a video on the Switch 2, and then I'm guessing he did that. So let me have a look at the comments on this. Hang on. Let me see. Bro stood on nothing. Hang on. Let's have a look at these comments real quick. Literally, he fucking. That's so shameless, man. That's actually Oh my god. Oh my god. Folds like origami and buys it day one. Oh my, how your torso is able to stay erect without a spine is quite impressive. Oh my, this is embarrassing. Is this allowed to be uploaded on YouTube, honey? This is unreal. He didn't even wait 1 second. Oh my, this is embarrassing. This is so bad. Like, no one would think any less of you didn't say that. Yeah, exactly. That's the worst part about like a lot of these online controversies. A lot of times you don't even need to say anything. Like, some people just can't help but talk. Like, I said my take, but my take was, I think the Switch 2 is a reasonable price. $80 or £75 games is where I draw the limit. So, like, now if you guys saw me have the Switch 2, which I do, none of you guys are calling me like a hypocrite, because I made my stance clear. Like, I think the price is fair. Throughout the whole of March, I worked myself to the bone to buy it. So, yeah, I'm going to buy one. I just don't agree with the $80 games. Do you know what I mean? I'd delete my channel, my comment section was frying me. It's not the same, bro, honestly. But hey, the Ralph Lauren shit ain't going to pay for itself, you know what I mean? Fuck it out.
The reason why this is a pretty big mistake, and I do absolutely believe I should actually apologize to my audience, is I didn't practice what I preached, you know? I said, you should vote with your wallet, and what did I do? I straight up charged my card and got the Switch 2. And for that, it's actually a pretty big apology. Like, there's no way to really say
this is embarrassing,
anything. There's no really any way to sugarcoat it. It's an actual mistake. You know, you can sit and blame other people, but ultimately...
let's make it clear. It's not a mistake. It's not a mistake. Like, is it like the biggest crime on planet Earth? No, but like, you consciously went there. It's a midnight release, boy. This ain't like, this isn't like that you walked past your local Best Buy, you happen to go see it, and you're like, oh, let me just check if it's in stock. Oh, have you got any Switch 2 in stock? Yeah, there's one left. You're like, oh, like, that would be like a bit more understandable. Still fucking horrible considering you rallied against it. But it'd still be a bit more like I can see mistake or accident. I can hear you say that, and at least it makes sense. It'd still be an excuse, but it still makes sense. You went to a midnight release. What were you gonna say, honey?
The people who like consistently make hate videos, because he made multiple videos going against it, right? Basically saying don't buy it. Not just one, not just two. I saw quite a bit in Nintendo Switch. Let's go. So before that, we had Switch 2 drop, not impressive. Please don't pre-order this. It's probably for some of the Switch. Switch 2 won't be easy. There's a Switch 2 is technically a brick. And if you keep going, there's probably going to be more about it, you know, just different ones from whenever there's like a different gameplay or whatever from like when they first introduced it and stuff. He's probably made multiple videos, maybe even referenced it in some other videos, but not want to buy it. I'm just saying I'm seeing a pattern that people who are most upset about Nintendo Switch usually end up getting it anyways.
Yeah, man, honestly.
They're obsessed with this system to talk about it. And I think negativity sells, and like, I personally don't like these type of channels. Like, why do I want to hear you about complain about the same thing over and over again and spread so much misinformation over and over again and just be a negative Andy all the time? I'd rather don't do that. Like, I agree with you. I think that as a console, the consoles are always a couple $100 no matter what you get. I don't agree with, high price games. I think it's really bad, but at the same time, if I'm getting the console, I kind of want games with it, and I'm sorry that I have to pay the $80 to go with it. I don't like it, but
yeah. Like, again, the worst, but yeah, I think what you touched upon is probably like, I think we had this with us in the real life fake wizard or whoever the fuck that guy was, that cringe lord. Like if you're gonna keep it real, at least like the thing with this is that like negativity sells, but like I feel like if I was ever to make this kind of channel, I'd at least sprinkle in like the odd, oh, here's like a good thing that's happening. Do you know what I mean? Because look at your channel, broski, man. It's so bad. Who would want to subscribe to this shit, man?
We're looking at this. Have you you always put about what the quote unquote bad things that Nintendo does. What about the good stuff? How about when they just came out with a stance that's saying they will never use AI, and they hired more people. They didn't lay off. They're the company that consistently gives people more jobs. They haven't had like mass layoff. I don't even know when. They just hired a bunch more people in other industry, like game industries, are doing massive layoffs. And they had a stance of we're not going to use AI in our games. We believe in creativity. That's a huge stance right now. Yeah. All the other ones are going downhill. But you don't see a video about that, do you?
Yeah, you just don't. Like you have to like strike a little bit of a balance. Like I feel like if I scroll Moist Critical's channel right now, like there'd at least be like some like thing. I think he made a video about like what's Super Mario Logan like having his channel demonetized, so like to rally YouTube to remonetizing him. Like even Moist Critical in recent memory has made some videos trying to like do something good. Like I don't know, man. Like this is rough. This is rough. That's all I'll say. This is rough, brother. Like it really just does seem like you told people not to buy a Switch 2 just so you could get one. That's what it looks like to me. You know what I mean? Like as Supermerc pointed out, that's what it looks like, broski. Makes reviews about films that, yeah, again, like it's just you gotta like sprinkle in some good, brother. Look, I see the bags under your eyes, man. All this negativity is like, I don't know. You guys know about the book, The Twits, right? The Roald Dahl book. Like in that book, they said like, yeah, if you think like you're only as beautiful as the thoughts you have. Like if you have like ugly thoughts, like you'll look ugly. But like someone that looks ugly, if they have good thoughts, like the goodness will always shine through them. Like that's what it is. Do you know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? Like, the hate is ruining you, brother. You know what I mean? You need to go to Turkey, brother. I don't know, man. You need to go to Turkey, like, see some sun, enjoy yourself, you know what I mean? Like, get like a nice full head of hair, get like an afro going, you know, get like a nice trim on that beard, swap out that Ralph Lauren shirt for some Slazenger, do you know what I mean? And then you'll feel good about life again, you know? Fuck, man.
You know, I think
had like been around people who are constantly negative, even about things I like. Like, if I say, yeah, I like Nintendo, I think they're a pretty alright, like, games and stuff, right? Like, I'm a big Nintendo, fan. I like playing Pokemon. I like playing, Splatoon. I like Animal Crossing. I just generally don't like whenever I like tell people or they go like, oh, did you know Nintendo did this? Did you know they did this? They're actually really bad at this. Okay, did you know that they should have done this? I'm like, yeah, I know this. Why do we keep bringing this up? Well, actually, I feel it's like such a downer. Like, genuinely, why does everything have to be so negative like all the time? Why can't you sprinkle, like you said, some positive stuff in there? Why can't you talk about some good stuff? Why can't you review some games that you like? Like, if I talk about Mario Kart World, even though I don't have it, I still have a little bit of issues with it.
Yeah, at least give us like a silver lining or something. Do you know what I mean? So I was muted and I was talking. But yeah, at least give us a silver lining or something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm like
too much negativity, man. It's unreal. So I'm eating food. I don't want to chew in front of the mic, chat. I don't want to chew.
Also, it's like we're talking about a gaming console here.
Yeah.
And we have to make an apology for a gaming console at the end of the day. Like, if buying a console, I never thought
extra ad revenue, innit?
Personally,
extra ad revenue. That's
what
I'm saying.
Apologize for buying something. I get that you're a huge hypocrite, and you've made several videos in negative, but like you said, if you sprinkled some positive in it, then people would not be so much more hard on you.
That's what I'm saying. Honey, someone JT just said, why does this look like evil Musty? Does he look like me but evil?
I like your beard a lot better. I don't
know.
But
do you see any resemblance? If so, I'll leave him. If not, I'm gonna ban him.
I personally don't see it.
Okay, JT, you gotta go. JT, you gotta go.
He's not wearing that. If you wear the flannels, you know.
JT,
like,
you gotta go.
thing.
That's just racism, then. That's just racism. All right, let's continue.
Community kind of made it known that I would be one of those gamers that would fall into FOMO, and even though that I don't personally think that I'm the reason that video games have just gotten more expensive, ultimately the actions that I did do contribute to the fact that video games
it
would have gotten
does.
more expensive, or at least the aspect of it would become more normalized. And ultimately, there's really no other way to, just apologize and say that I'll do better moving forward, And to be fair, the biggest sigh of relief for me is to sit over here and apologize for purchasing a video game system, right? There's a lot of things that a YouTuber can do that would be very illegal, very wrong, ethically, not even just legally, that I could sit down here and apologize for. And that is the only thing that I've really thanked God today for not doing. I could apologize for far more worse, but, realistically, it's just apologizing for purchasing the system.
Guys, I only ended up making 10 videos about the Switch 2 being bad, guys. I'm not a nonce. Guys, at least I'm not a nonce. Yeah, Musa? Is that the bar we're doing?
Pretty well, man. Like...
Guys, it could be worse. I could have children in my basement, but I don't. Guys, I thank God that all I have to apologize for is that I'm a bing human. All right? Guys, hey, I could have said the N-word on a bridge while playing PUBG, but I didn't.
That, I kind of made a big hullabaloo about, right? And obviously, gaming boycotts are something that unfortunately traditionally do not work just because people end up buying them. And in this case, I was one of those people. Now, I do want to kind of defend myself a little bit and just kind of talk about this, because I don't want to just say that, I don't want to just say sorry. I do want to give an explanation. Okay. Obviously, that night I was coming home, bought a Switch. And one of the reasons I wanted to buy the Switch is to kind of look at that brick capability. I wanted to see if you can fire the system up, you can make a local account, you can connect without, utilizing any patches. And thankfully, you actually can, as long as you have a Switch 2 and, of course, a game, which this is something that I'm actually keeping stock or not just actually
can you pause it for a second?
Of course.
Why didn't you buy it second offhand then?
Yeah, honey, no, honey, he tripped into the Best Buy. His wallet ended up tripping. He tripped into the Best Buy. His wallet fell. He fell. His wallet flung up in the air. The one card specifically flung up in the air. Someone was ringing out a Switch 2, and his card just on the machine. Oh shit, man.
If this is what you said, all you wanted to do was see if it's, the bricking capability is what you said mainly, right?
Mm-hmm.
My thing is that this isn't you have to do it right away.
Yeah.
It's not you don't need that. I'm like, no one needs that. I'm like, no one need that. I said, if you don't want to give a company your money, you can just buy it second offhand. Wait until someone wants to sell it, so you're not giving Nintendo even more money by buying a new one. You could have just purchased off of someone else, so it's not they already gave them money Nintendo, but they're not getting an extra sale, right? Bricking a game console doesn't have to be released right away. You can wait and make a good video about it.
Exactly.
So when you saying you so happen to go on a midnight release, which I don't believe that, because people would wait in line.
Yeah.
And especially probably from where he's from. He's a probably YouTuber. I don't know where he's from, but he's probably in a well area,
Mm-hmm, yeah, definitely. With a Ralph Lauren shirt, definitely.
With a lot of people are going to be at a midnight release, so he's probably had to wait in line, or he could have pre-ordered it, because some of them, depending on where he got it, are only pre-orders. I just feel like you didn't have to go and buy a Switch. You could have got it secondhand if you truly didn't believe in giving Nintendo even your money. And you could have bricked it at any time. You didn't have to do it right away, because that's not a video that needs to be done right away. You can do it anytime and make a very good video and make it more educated.
No, he needs to make daily slop, honey. He needs to make daily slop. He needs to make daily slop. No, honey, he can't wait to make a quality video. He doesn't know what that is. He's never done that before in his life. Or at least not for a while, anyway.
Cyberpunk 2077, as long as you have a game with an actual, completed update on the cartridge, this system is completely usable offline, which was pretty important to me because I didn't want to see another system release as a pure-on brick.
Yeah, but then again, you could have just asked someone. If that's what you're worried about. Yeah, literally, that's what I wanted to test as well, because I was actually curious about it too. I was curious about, is it like, is the auto update thing like a toggleable option? And it is. Hang on, I think I can show you guys real quick. Hang on. Yeah, literally. Hang on. Let me show you real quick. Yeah, like you could literally. He literally could have DM someone and be like, "Hey, go into the settings. Like, is it toggleable?" And it's like, yeah, literally, it's right there. Automatic system updates. You can toggle it off. That's what I've done.
Not only that, one of those videos he probably made, the whole reason that was an issue because someone said that before the game system even released, and it was filled with misinformation. People called that out, like, no, you don't have to have this. It's not that you can do it this way.
Yeah.
But no one believed them because it's not negative. So someone put out that information online, and then he reported on it. And then instead of actually waiting for the fact check one,
instead of being a bit of a
like,
journalist,
how to buy it
like literally, fucking hell,
and I'm like, so you reported. I'm like, you reported on false negative claims, and then like you had to find out yourself if it was true or not. Which I part of me believes you were hoping that it was true.
Yeah.
Just so you can be negative, but at the same time, like you said, you could have just asked someone else who got it, or waited until like you got it secondhand or something.
Yeah, you literally could
literally, if someone got it,
you
just
could
be
just
like, or go online because people were falsely saying like, "Hey guys, so yeah, this was disproven. You guys were wrong about this."
There's so many other ways he could have gone about it, but like he chipped into a midnight release, guys. Yeah, that would take at least 3 minutes of effort. Good. Imagine buying a console because you can't just ask a friend. Oh, like, can you just check if the Switch is like brickable or not? Like, like stuff like this. Yeah.
Like, go on Twitter. It's over Twitter. Just type in Switch 2.
Insane. No, that's too difficult for money. Also, how is this video like 8 more minutes? We've got 8 more minutes of this shit, chat.
As long as you have a system with, again, a video game, it seems things can just work out of the box. Now, as far as Switch 1 stuff goes, that still needed YouTube patch for getting the backwards compatibility going in. But if you were just buying Switch 2 games, then surprisingly, everything just worked out of the box. The other thing I wanted to see was, again, the functionality of these games too, especially one game completed on the system. And for that, I played Cyberpunk 2077. In fact, that was a pretty massive section of the video where I just showed the game actually running for anybody to come into the video, watch, and see. Now, I could make the video overly negative, or I could make it...
It's 12 minutes so you can get the ad revenue? Yeah, it probably is, isn't it? It's like, the apology's done now. The video could be over. Oh my look. Even in his apology... He needs those double ads. Oh my god. Yeah, and the worst part is like, did you have to make that video? Brother, Prosafia Gaming has probably uploaded that shit, man.
Not only that, like I've seen a bunch of like
I saw some on Twitter. I actually saw some on Twitter yesterday. Yeah, like side by sides of like Cyberpunk PS5 versus Switch 2.
Yeah, like I did a lot of like I'm on Pokemon side, so I've seen a lot of like Scarlet and Violet, like the different load up times, how much time you can space. I've seen a full like cutscenes of the game like side by side, so I can see it, and I'm like, people probably didn't play through, so you didn't have to do that because it's online. People are buying the Switch too. They could have seen that from anywhere else.
Literally.
So when your thing is like you had to be the one to do that, I don't think so. Even for experiment. Other people are going to experiment as literally like a midnight release, probably an hour later, people were probably posting clips saying, oh my god, this is so much better, or whatever their opinion is on it. And I'm like, you didn't have to make this research. If you were going to do a research video, why don't you ask some users for their clips? Why don't you like go and do your own research and put it into a video trying to explain to it, right?
Literally, yeah.
Or you're like, hey guys, go check out this YouTuber, Twitch streamer, blah blah blah. They played a whole they're playing right now where they played a whole series playthrough of they streamed this game that's Switch 2 version. Like it's so much better.
Like you didn't have to make it. Like essentially, but you just didn't have to make this. Like he's just pretending. What shit? Like has there ever been such a thing as like a good apology video? Has it ever happened? Like I feel like there's maybe a couple examples, but like all you have to do is say like, hey guys, my bad. And then just move on. But now you're just justifying with these shit excuses. Just say you fucked up and then move on. The more details you give, the worse the apology is.
I think literally the only YouTube that has successfully did a good like apology video is Jenna Marbles. Like she apologized and left.
Yeah, PewDiePie. I think PewDiePie's almost solid too, but for like the bridge incident.
Yeah, but like at least with at least with Jenna Marbles, it wasn't like terrible. It's just like a mistake, and then she went on. But I got her. She was held accountable. I forget what it was about, but I just know that people said it was a good apology, and she like left, dude.
Bro, this is giving like
she took her word on it.
Literally, this is giving like T Martin vibes. Do you remember T Martin's apology? Do you remember that one, honey? Oh my!
Is it the one with the dogs?
It's the one with the dog. It's the one with the dog. I got it.
Toxic Nintendo to train. Gonna buy
Cooper,
a game
I have no
midnight
idea
release.
how I'm gonna record this video, dude.
Literally all the stereotypes. Dog in it, the fucking expensive ass car in the background. Look at his house, dude. Look at his house. Jesus Christ, man. This was like literally one of the worst apology videos ever made. It was actually so bad. Bearing in mind, guys, you're probably thinking, oh, what did he do? He literally made a CSGO scam website where, like, he made a CSGO gambling website that he took sponsors for, but he didn't disclose he owned. So he was like doing sponsors. Oh, check out this CSGO log, guys. A lot of good rates. And he was like advertising the game. But obviously, he'd win. He'd set so he wins because he owned the website. So it was literally like one of the worst things you could do. You got people addicted to gambling for a site that you owned. And like this is the fuck ass apology he gave. Good lord, man. How are you comparable to that, Mutaha? All you did was buy a Switch 2, bro. Just say my bad and move on.
Overly positive, but the reason
Well, I'm not going to watch too much more of this, okay?
Kind of went the way that I did was I wanted to just objectively look at this product as what it was and talk about things, right? And, you know, one of the things I kind of read was like, oh, the grifter stuff. Oh, you were just grifting on that hate. Well,
yes!
If I was grifting on the hate and I released that, you know, video, I would probably be overly negative, or I would try to spread some level of misinformation to garner more viewership on hating the device or loving the device.
Didn't he say vote with your wallets? And one of the videos said vote with your wallet, and then like.
No, but hang on. No, sorry. I just want to before you get to your point, right? Like, oh, if I was a grifter, maybe I would have been more negative. Brother, like.
Hello, guys and gals. Me, Mutahar.
What kind of excuse? What you did though? That's the thing. Please don't pre-order this. Hang on. The Switch 2 is technically a brick. What was it? What was the other one? Was there more? Hacking the Switch 2 won't be easy. The Switch 2 dropped and it's not impressive. Like. On the surface, hang on. Like, what you have to understand, like, this guy's actually like brain dead. This guy's actually like unironically brain dead, right? Now, hang on. Now, one thing I had this conversation with someone else, right? Is for example, because I know when I release Pokemon content on my main channel, right? Obviously, my algorithm, most people here like Mario and Mario Kart stuff, right? But occasionally I upload Pokemon videos. Firstly, because my channel I upload what I want. But like, I know that even if that video doesn't do particularly well, it sets the precedent that like. Oh, I do Mario stuff and Mario Kart, but I also do other stuff too. That is the importance of that video. It serves a purpose, even if it doesn't get a lot of views, that it sets the precedent that I will also cover other shit, right? So how it looks on my catalog is, oh, he does Mario stuff, but he also does the occasional other stuff too. Which yeah, I definitely want to do a bit more variety too. But like, so what you have to do is you say you're not a grifter, but like on the surface level, boom, 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 you look. If it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's a duck, right? So you can't say, hey guys, I would have been even more negative and made 10 videos. You still made a bunch. On the surface level, you look like a grifter. What are you talking about? You can't say, you are. You actually are. You walk like a grifter and talk like a grifter, bro. You are one. Accept the label. Sorry, what are you going to say?
Especially since like the videos are so close together.
Yes.
And like the videos are just filled with so misinformation because you're just reporting the negative as is instead of waiting to see if it's actually factual true.
I don't know if I can verify that person because I don't know if we've watched any of these, but like I don't
but
yeah.
even the title.
Yeah,
like,
I don't doubt for a second that as a whole I don't doubt if we were to watch all of these videos that like he's just going by like this thing was said on Twitter and I don't know about that, but Twitter must be true. Like it was like he's basically just going off of vibes as opposed to actually doing any research himself. I don't doubt that for a second. You know what I mean?
So, well, the break up one turned out to be not true. Why did you have to make a video about that and try to paint it as a bad way?
I don't know, man. The fact that it's still up as well. I'm just like, yeah, like if you really weren't a grifter, you would have taken these down. But you are! Literally, not only did you make a bunch, they're still up! They're still up, broski! How are you complaining that people are calling you a grifter? You walk and talk like a grifter! Why are you being watch? This is your apology video! Brother, you got caught stealing cookies from the cookie jar. Just say, hey, might be. I'll eat dinner first, then I'll have a cookie. That's what you have to do.
But in reality, I just wanted to cover things from an objective perspective. I wanted to show that there were some games, Cyberpunk 2077, which were out of the box day one. Now there's like one other game, or I think actually 3 other games, all from Nintendo that all come pretty much on the cartridge.
Your camera's out of focus. This is, honey.
being Mario Kart World, Legend of Zelda, both Legend of Zeldas, and they all just come pretty much without that game key card stuff. So one of the things that I didn't do in that video was obviously buy the game key card stuff. Like I didn't go out into the store and purchase those GIMP copies that I was speaking so much against, which again, I only really bought the system and the one game that was of any interest to me, just so I can show it in the video. And ultimately, regardless of what I'm saying over here, all of that is still a mistake. I was hypocritical. I bought a device that, I actually shouldn't have. I contributed to, unfortunately, a bad practice in the gaming industry, right? Which was supporting this Nintendo system. I did want to cover it from a review perspective. I did want to cover it just from the preservationist perspective to see if a lot of those alarm bells that were ringing literally days before the system was actually launching were actually valid alarm bells. But ultimately,
did you? But like, you didn't have to buy the console. That's the issue. Like,
first, you didn't have to buy the console, and secondly, if you're upfront about it, I don't think anyone would give a shit. That's the issue. You're a grifter. That's what you are. If you would have said, "Hey guys, I know I've been making a lot of videos, negative videos about the Switch 2, but from a grain preservationist perspective, I want to see if those auto updates can be switched off. I want to see do games work out the box." And I think most people would have been like, "Yeah, you're a bit of a grifter, but much less of a grifter if you're being upfront about it." Why are you just not being upfront about it? Well, what's wrong with you, man? Jesus Christ, this is unreal. What a horrible, horrible apology video. This is terrible. This is grift maxing, bro. This is unreal, man. This is actually unreal. It's actually unreal. And Bert said he was going to buy one, and boy, I don't even know what to say. He's not going to return it, because, he's not going to, I bet you're not going to even return it either, broski. What is happening here?
Look, at the end of the day, there's nothing I can say to, not accept actual fault at purchasing the system when I made a big hullabaloo about it. And ultimately for that, I do completely apologize. There's no joke, no fun you can make in this manner. I feel like ultimately I do have to apologize for that, and that's what I do. Now, if you're somebody that, is, looking at me and, you don't want to watch my videos anymore because you don't like me anymore because of the Switch 2 stuff, then, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to wait by. We're going to have to wait by each other. All I can really do is say I'm sorry. That's really all I can do. I can't just whip myself or do something to self-flagellate myself just for the camera at this point. All I can really do is say I'm sorry, and I'll do better next time. And ultimately...
Something tells me you're not, though. That's the thing. He's just repeating himself.
Really
he has to get the ad revenue, you know what I mean? Go on, honey, what are you saying?
If you really wanted to, you can just, if you can't return it, you can just have a video where you sell it to someone else and not buy another Switch again.
He's not going to do that, babe. He's enjoying playing Cyberpunk. He wanted the benefit of the grift money, but he also wants the benefit of the Switch too. Like he wanted to put his finger in both pies, and it's like, just be honest. Like even if you were going to be a bitch and do that, just be honest. Like most people appreciate the honesty. Like it's the reason why Dark Side Phil, even though he's a bit of a lolcow and has his own dedicated hate group, doesn't get a lot of shtick. Every now and again, a tweet will blow up about Dark Side Phil, but everyone knows what his shtick is. He literally goes into the camera and goes, "Guys, why are you not donating? Guys, we need more donors. We only need $27 today. We gotta hit the 150 dono goal." He's at least up front. He's a money grabbing bitch, but at least he's honest. He's better than you. Dark Side Phil is better than you, Mutar. In what reality do we live in where I can say that? What are you gonna say?
Like if he's really, like he said, sorry and stuff like that. Either if you're gonna say that, because obviously you bought the Nintendo Switch, right? You're not going to buy games for it, because why would
exactly? Why would you? Yeah.
$500 console, not buy any more continuously games. So if you really still truly believe in that, you don't want to give this company more money, and you don't want to, back on your word, then you probably should sell the console or give it away, do a giveaway or some stuff. I don't know, give it away, and don't buy anything from Nintendo either on. Or you're gonna have to take accountability, like you said you trying to and be like, you know what, guys, I'm gonna play Nintendo. I like it.
Yeah,
I like the games. I like the console. So which one is it?
The worst part is from the surface. It looks like Nintendo fans are just making him say sorry just for buying the console, but actually just making him apologize for being a hypocrite. Yeah, this is actually I joke about saying, oh, he's worse than T Martin's apology. I was exaggerating, obviously, because what T Martin did was far, far, far more objectionable. As an apology video, on its own, this is terrible. It's actually terrible, man. What shit video, broski? You just could have been a tweet. Thank you for the dono, Island Isaac. Appreciate it, man.
So what you're saying is that Dark Side Phil is the quagmire to Mutahar's Brian.
That is exactly what I'm saying, yes. Literally, word for word. Thank you so much. This could have been an email. This could have been an email, broski, man. Oh, man.
For me, as somebody that's made tons of videos on countering misinformation regarding game preservation, when people talk about, how every disc nowadays is a digital download, and there really isn't any way to preserve video games anymore. And I have made videos where I've talked about this, I've corrected the misinformation. For me, the Switch 2 was kind of like that, right? I wanted to see if in this situation, game preservation, at least for fully completed titles was actually there. And obviously, I did make a point in that video if you watch it, where I said, when this device has 256 gigs on it, buying game key cards, already completely incomplete copies, you're going to be basically downloading and filling your entire new system up with just like 4 or 5 games effectively down the road. And that's going to become a pretty huge problem, not just for game preservation, but for the average person that probably isn't also going to spend 80, 90 bucks, 70 bucks, whatever to buy external media for the system. These are all things that I did talk about in the video. And these were kind of the most important things.
This could have been a smoke signal.
Seeing how a game like Cyberpunk 2077 could run on a newer ARM-based chip device. Now, ultimately, as part of my apology, all I can really say is, look, at the end, I am sorry. I probably shouldn't have contributed to Nintendo's dog shit in video gaming, but ultimately I did. And, I'm one of the bad people in this process. Now, do I think that...
Repeating yourself once more, but sure, okay.
The most evil person in the world? No, I don't think that. And I don't really...
No, you are. Isn't he the most evil person on planet Earth, honey? I think he is.
I mean, if you...
Personally, I just think it is. Personally, I think Idi Amin, Genghis Khan, some ordinary gamers Mutahar, then it's Mao Zedong, personally. I don't know where you rank him personally. I don't know if that's too high. For some people, that might be too high. But I think he's like below Mao Zedong, but he's not as bad as Mao Zedong, but like definitely worse than Idi Amin, 100%.
But like, why do you have to make a comparison about like what you did? It was like it's not worse than like other ones. Why can't you just say sorry?
Yeah, why can't? Yeah, that's what makes this apology so shit. Like as an apology, you can't say, oh, but that person did what? Yeah, like it's so manipulative, isn't it? It's terrible, man. Just say sorry. Just say sorry.
Like
I fucked up. My bad, guys. That's what we have to say. Go on.
I've been in like 2 different like manipulative like relationships, like platonic or just like family wise, where it's one extreme to the other. He's not doing the one what was like I'm a terrible person, blah blah blah. He's doing the opposite of like, well, I'm the bad guy now, huh?
Yeah,
I'm the bad guy.
God. Yeah,
literally. I could have been worse. Like, well, it's not like I'm killing kids. It's not like I'm doing that.
We can't prove that he's not, honey. You have to be careful. We can't prove that he's not. He might be.
But like, I just feel like if someone is truly, truly sorry, or if they even cared, they would make an actual apology and be like, I'm really sorry, guys. I'm not, either I'm going to go back on my word and I'll be like, I'm going to play this console and, do a quote-unquote a shrill, or 2, I want nothing to do with this console. I bought it, was a mistake, I'm going to sell it.
Yeah.
Those are your 2 options here. You can't compare or not compare yourself to, like, with, like, other worse things, because I hate the compare game, but I think that's a bit manipulative. It's like saying, hey, I'm going through a really hard time, and then someone else goes, well, did you know that people in this, like, third world country are even worse?
It's like, shut the fuck up, man. That's basically what this is, honestly. This is just... bro, what was I going to say? I lost track of what I was going to say, but yeah, pretty much whatever you said. What aboutism, essentially, yeah. Like, it's just... He wore the Sonichu medallion. Did he actually wear the Sonichu medallion? Because that explains a lot if he wore the Sonichu medallion. Do you know about that law, babe? It seems like everyone who wears the Sonichu medallion is like condemned to like fall off. I think iDubbbz wore it, which is why like he's fallen off now. And if Muta wore it, then it makes sense. The Sonichu medallion claims another. He did? Hang on, let me see. Is there a picture? Sonichu medallion. Hang on. Is this true? Oh my, he has! No way. He did. He wore the Sonichu. Oh my god.
I like the thing, I'm effed, aren't I?
Oh, and even more. Mr. Objectivity. Mr. Writing himself. Give him a pensive... Oh no, it's actually over. Oh, it's actually so over, bro. Fuck yeah, now.
I don't even see really anybody saying that, but as far as being hypocritical and bad for gaming, I can definitely see how I've contributed to that, and for that I just really humbly apologize. There's no if and or but around it. It is just a straight apology to anybody that felt slighted.
There was a lot of its, ands, or bots throughout this entire video, if I'm being honest.
You literally said, let me defend my things a little bit, and you went off to talk about how you want to, like, do some tests on it. You literally said, let me defend my actions. That's the that's the abouts and what ifs.
Sorry, I remember what I was going to say earlier. Is that like, okay, so for my 10K stream, I like reacted to Shortcat's 96 track ranking, and while I had a lot of fun doing that, there was like quite a few, there was like a small minority of people that were like, oh, I'm actually kind of disappointed, Moresty, that you didn't like, you didn't take to this video in the earnestness that I would have liked. And I took that criticism and went, you know what, fair. If anyone had that expectation of me going into this, I apologize for that. And what did I do? I unlisted the VOD so that in future reference, when future people see it, they won't be as disappointed as those people were. I am going to upload it to the second channel, so don't worry about that. And it's unlisted so people can still check it out. But I didn't want it to be a public upload because otherwise I didn't want people coming into that with that same expectation only to be disappointed, right? Yeah, I apologize. I said, hey, my bad, guys. If you're one of those people, my bad. And I that's it. I moved on. I didn't go, but like he was boring me though. And it's like, no, I should have done my research and been like, okay, maybe this video isn't necessarily as much for me as I thought it was. I didn't do any research going into it. I just went in blind. And that's on me. I just said, hey, my bad, guys. And I moved on. That's all you have to do. Like, literally everyone who was disappointed was like, yeah, that's chill, Moresty, don't worry about it. It's that simple, isn't it? That's literally all you have to do. Just say, hey, my bad, guys. You'll be shocked how many people will accept an apology. Yeah, some people won't. You'll be shocked how much when people go, hey, my bad. People will just move on. You know? I don't know, man. This could have been a tweet, broski. Could have been a tweet.
Hurt or disappointed.
Like, even with my one, for my apology, it was a community post. But I didn't make a video. I just said, hey guys, some people were expecting this and I didn't offer it. My bad. And I moved on. Oh, man.
For that, my community is pretty important to me. And ultimately, I really did feel like, because I had a platform, and I could talk a little bit about the game preservation angle, maybe it was worth showing. To me...
You know, apology video just makes what you did spread more. Yeah, and it's like... It makes it what you did spread more, but which makes it even worse when it turns out to be a shit apology video. Like, yeah, more people will see it that didn't... like, yeah, obviously, the reason why people don't do main channel apology videos is because, like, yeah, more eyes who weren't privy to this will see it, right? Which maybe you don't necessarily want. But some people could argue there's a much more better honesty in uploading it on the main channel because then it puts it out there for everyone to see. Like, you can't hide behind a Twitter post, you can't hide behind a Reddit post where you're putting on the main channel, you're putting your balls on the line out there, which to some degree I actually find it to be respectable. But it only works when the apology video is good. When the apology video sucks like this one, not only did as many people as possible see it, it was ass. Do you know what I mean? It's like literally the worst of both worlds, chat. It's the worst thing you could possibly do. Good lord, man.
If there was something really scathing about it in this device, it would have been a completely warranted purchase, because then I could at least alert some people that, yeah, this thing is actually a confirmed brick. Yes, actually, all these games, even the ones that ship completely on card,
you could have just you could have borrowed someone's console.
But when I actually got the device and I tested it myself, I couldn't find that in the case.
You could have borrowed someone's console, but whatever.
To be honestly reporting on something versus, you know, maybe raising more misinformation and hurting myself down the road a lot harder than, you know, the hurt that I've taken right now. But yeah, that's really all I have to say. I can just look into the camera and just say, I'm sorry, I'll do better. And that's pretty much all it comes down to. And the only thing I'm really thankful about here is I could be apologizing for, like, as a YouTuber, there's apology videos that I've watched.
Again, he does the same thing again. Hey, it could have been worse. Hey, check my basement. It's squeaky clean. But don't look at the walls, though. Don't look at the walls.
Through my career.
If you hear muffling in the walls, what are you going to say?
It's a tactic for him to downplay the situation, which, I mean, the situation overall is just a stupid...
Yeah, it's a stupid situation overall, but, like...
the way you're saying it is downplaying it, and it is a manipulative a bit tactic.
Yeah, it is. It is. 100% is.
It's to be like, guys, I feel your pain, but, look, I could have done worse. Like, come on,
literally,
dude.
this is terrible.
It's a Nintendo console. You made a mistake. Like, just say, I'm sorry.
Hey, my bad. That's what we have to do.
I feel like I'm like he's repeating himself, so I'm repeating myself.
Yeah, yeah. But it's fair. If he repeats himself, we will too. Fuck it.
People have done really terrible things, and ultimately, this might be one of the worst things that I've done. Which genuinely is support bad game practices, and, you know, not practice what I preach. I can't make videos where I say I'm not going to be buying a Nintendo Switch, you know, day one at least, and then here I am buying it day one. Even if personally I felt making the content, and at least if I could find something scathing about it, I could talk about, sure. But for me, I'm still not somebody that is in line to be I guess
the console though. Just saying.
Yeah, you could, but like, babe, come on now. The ad revenue, honey, the ad revenue. Come on.
Maybe because you don't want to pay for other people's like videos and stuff they have to now put in or ask for permission.
Yeah, no, but the ad revenue, babe. He needs the ad revenue. He needs the ad revenue, honey. Come on.
Hypocrite in this regard, and for that I do apologize. I've done something wrong, which is purchasing the device after the hullabaloo that I've raised, and for that all I can do is honestly just apologize. Really, that's all I can do. So if you accept this apology, great. If you don't accept this apology, then...
even more repeating himself, amazing. Get a script, you fucking dingus. Holy shit.
But yeah, you know.
Yeah.
Our word is really all we have. That's really what it comes down to. What I want to apologize for is purchasing and keeping Cyberpunk 2077 on the Switch. I really feel like even if you're not buying the Nintendo Switch...
Guys, Cyberpunk 2077 on the Switch is over. Use my sponsor code down below to get 20%.
You've got the money. You should probably signal to the industry that buying a completed Switch game, you know, or buying a complete product on launch with all the DLC onto it is something that should be supported, right? And especially considering that a lot of games release with tons of great expansion packs that never end up showing up on actual release anymore. They don't get re-released.
Brother, even the camera's given up. Even the camera's given up, broski. You wrap it up. Turn the TV off. Turn
piece
it
down the
off!
road. It used to be back in the day that when
I
a game
like
launched,
that
a year
you
later,
are talking positively about like a game in the console, but I don't think this is the right time to do it.
Yes! Make a dedicated video. Cyberpunk 2077 is everything I like about video games. That it all comes on a disc. It's a complete experience. Yeah, fantastic. Talk about that. But you don't want it because it wouldn't get views. Dipshit.
after it got like 3-4 single player expansions, you end up getting like a Game of the Year edition. Now you still get the Game of the Year edition, but sometimes, in most cases, you end up getting like a little piece of paper inside with a code that doesn't even have the whole game. So yeah, for that, I will never actually truly apologize for this. Nor will I ever apologize for picking up games like Soccer, which are these completed Japanese
Oh, guys, he's not going to apologize for it. No, guys.
releases of 3 games on one cartridge.
Apology
But anyways, I'm kind of
rescinded.
talking and talking in circles, really. Apologize for the Switch 2
Doesn't
stuff.
make any sense then. He just says he apologizes for participating in bad like gaming industry like practices, then buys an expensive game and he said he won't apologize for getting these games which help the bad practices. Which is it?
Yeah, he doesn't know, baby. He doesn't even know what he's talking about anymore.
Because like
Come on
now
now.
it's not just about the console, but because these games weren't made by Nintendo, somehow they're good, even though the price of them still isn't good, and you're still practicing in the bad practices of the company said like companies and like practice you don't like.
Yeah, it's like,
So, like,
you like even if you
this
bought.
went on
Yeah.
an 11-minute rant about this, how you're sorry for participating, and then he said, but I'm not sorry for buying these wonderful games that are like overpriced, like you just said all the other Nintendo games are. So
You
like,
could have.
what is
Why,
it?
yeah, why don't you? Okay, and also you make it seem like you couldn't buy those games on other platforms. You could have bought Cyberpunk 2077. I'm assuming a complete version on a different console. You did not have to buy the Switch 2 version. Why are you making it seem like you had to buy the Switch 2 version? You didn't have to. You bought it because you're a dipshit. That's why. Who's a hypocrite? A hypocritical dipshit. That's what you did. You should have. You know what? I'm glad you wore the Sonichu medallion. I said it. I said it. You should wear it again.
Didn't practice what I preached there, and all I can say is I'm sorry, and I'll do better. Simple as that. I'm out.
Yeah. So dog shit. Absolute dog shit. Absolute dog shit, gamers. Are you Bravo 6 in? Honey, are you excited to look at the comments as well? Are you excited for the Bravo 6, honey? Shit. Yeah, you're getting like so excited right now, honey. What are you getting excited for, huh? You're getting too excited there, honey. Let's go. Let's have a look at the comments. Just the hang on, let me move the chat out the way a little bit. You guys can go up there. Just a text post to add. I really do feel like a bad person in this. I don't want to send you guys mixed messages and signals. I figured I'd cover anything controversial like I've done in the past, but I always do bite talk. Hang on. I figured I can cover anything controversial like I've done in the past, but I always do bite talk about on the channel in an objective way. I've done similar things for the Vision Pro and games like Assassin's Creed Shadow. Sometimes the finished product is a mixture of positive and negative signals, and I really did want to do the same here. Now listen, Grifter. Though in the end, I ended up contributing myself to bad practice of the game industry, and it's never tolerable. For that, I apologize. You're just repeating yourself some more. Like, shut up! Turn this TV off. Turn this TV off. Good lord. Lack of ukuleles is profoundly upsetting. Real. Post Nintendo. Yeah. Turns out he really is just some ordinary gamer. Say that again. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is why the industry is in such a sad state. True. True. As penance, you must use Windows for all your systems for an entire... Is he a Linux bro as well? Folded under zero pressure. Bro, at least the comments are roasting him. This confirms that gamers don't know how to vote with their wallets. True. You just know.
You just know it.
You just know it.
GTA costs tens of dollars. Mito would be the first one to pre-order to review it.
You just know
Yeah,
he's
why
gonna
do you
make.
have to?
Yeah, you just know he's gonna make 7 videos. GTA is so overpriced. And then he's gonna like fucking review like all the titty physics in that game or some shit,
Like,
man.
Yeah, but like, why do you have to be the person to review it? If
He
you
doesn't.
talk badly about a game for like months before it came out, saying it looks awful, well, I bought it just to review it. Why? There's other people that do it. Generally, when I'm on the fence about a video game, it's a different topic. I know I'm gonna like talk about this, but like, I don't really play like FPS, like first-person shooters, right?
Mhm.
However, all the times I've seen like people play Overwatch, I'm like, this game looks good. Same with Splatoon. I'm like, this game looks fun. Maybe I should try it out. I watch gameplays from other people doing that, and generally, why can't you do the same thing? And see if it actually is bad, if it actually is good. You don't have to buy something.
You don't have to buy it. You could have done everything you wanted to do and stuck to your principles. But again, with me, I think my principled stance was Super Mario 3D All Stars. The idea of Nintendo releasing a game digitally under a time limit was abhorrent to me, and I'm never gonna buy that game. Like, yeah, would I like to own it? Yeah, I'm not gonna buy it though. It actually disgusts me to think about, and I'm standing on my principles and not buying that game. Why would I ever support that? You know what I mean? Like, if they did the same thing for like Mario Kart Double Dash on the Switch, I'm not buying it. I'd stick to my principles. It'd be hard for me not to, don't get me wrong, but I don't want to support digital limited time releases. That's terrible. What a terrible like fucking thing to set as a precedent. Fuck that noise. I'm never supporting that. But no, but guys, I had to though. I had to review it, guys. I had to. Oh, terrible. Like, let's say hypothetically, if I did have to review, I'd probably borrow someone's copy and then do my review and then not think about the game ever again. So at least I'm like logically consistent in somewhere. Anyone hang on, yup, you definitely made a mistake. Went to the midnight release, probably pre-ordered it, swiped your credit card, drove home, booted up the console, and played the system. Yep, definitely a good to honest mistake. Anyone buying that I wanted to test it, break and go, it has to be gullible because it's one of the most obvious lies ever shown. Actually, what a terrible excuse, bro. Literally. Hey, at least you spent $7 to play the game. Same game you played 10 times because it's pretty good before you go back to playing Cyberpunk on your PC. Oh. You also did it with FE1. Yeah, I didn't buy FE1 either for that same reason. I really wanted to play the original Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon in the beta light. I'm not going to now. If I'm going to play it, I'll buy the original NES release and find like a English translation patch or something. I refuse to get it. I didn't want to get it. Fucking dog shit. Absolute dog shit. I didn't want to support that. As Silverhands would say, mindless fucking consumerism at its best. Real. The sorry situation is crazy. I mean, if the guy who posts at least monthly videos on game preservation or call out the bad practice who can't control himself, then what hope do we have for the general consumers? Yeah. Yeah. That's not a mistake. You made a choice. You're essentially farming rage bait content for months. You bought it for the prospects of more content. Oh, hang on. Default Dan W, chat? Default Dan W? Absolute cinema. This is genuinely the easiest thing not to fumble. You didn't even give any valid reasons for having a Switch. You were so adamant that you weren't going to buy it, and your reason was because they had it in stock. Peak gamer consumerism. Unreal.
Stock because you probably pre-order and you went to a midnight release.
True.
Like...
This is the reason game companies get away. Yeah, literally, yeah. All his comments I get it. Honestly, like, if you're someone that took this guy's opinions to any sort of like serious degree, I would strongly consider not doing so. Like, what is the point of even like being like a person who advocates for consumer stuff if you're just gonna buy the Switch 2 anyway? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, if you're one of those people that stood on business, Switch 2's this, Switch 2's that, are just gonna buy anyway, what the fuck's the point? Like, why do you even do this? Like, actually, why do you even bother? What's the point of you? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, again, I made my stance very clear. I think Mario Kart World being £80, £75 was fucking terrible. I bought the bundle so I didn't have to buy that much. And if somebody doesn't want to support that, I'm fucking with you. I thought the Switch 2 was fairly priced for me. Expensive, obviously, but I thought like £400 about what I expected. It was, what, $380, $430 for the bundle. So, like, I'm logically consistent. Where about it? Be consistent. Be consistent or just say sorry. That's what you have to do. It's not that hard, man. It's not that hard! Anyway, closing thoughts. Terrible apology video. The grift is real. So if you get angry at people calling you a grifter, you literally are. Like, you walk like a grifter and talk like a grifter. You could pretend to be better than the other grifters, but you absolutely are a grifter. 100%. 100%. What you've done is grift. Grift is all hell, right? So overall, I've not watched your videos in years, Mutahar, and it's sad to see that yet another person fell off. What do you think, honey?
So this is like I'm pretty sure my first video from you. I don't know, man. Looking at your quick channel, it's all negative, and I personally don't vibe with that.
Yeah, fuck that noise, bro. You need to find some joy and whimsy now. And we'll leave it there.
Yeah.
We'll leave it there, gamers. We'll leave it there. Good stuff. Guten